morning. My name is Joella. Thanks for joining me for some yoga this morning. Before we get started, just a reminder, please make sure you're listening to your body. Take any modifications that you need. Take a break whenever you feel like you need to. And just make sure that whatever you're doing feels right in your body. Of course, if you have any underlying health condition, please make sure that you've checked with a medical professional before starting a new exercise routine. So we're going to start laying on our backs today. So go ahead and just find a comfortable position. And let's actually start with our feet flat to the floor, about hips distance apart. And maybe just allowing, maybe a little wider than hips distance actually, and then allowing your knees to fall into touch. Palms facing up towards the sky, just down by your sides. And just taking a moment here. And notice how this feels in your body. Just bringing your awareness to your breath. And see if you can make your inhales and exhales a little longer and a little deeper. Your next inhale, take a nice deep inhale through your nose. And sigh it out your mouth. Deep inhale through your nose. And sigh it out your mouth. Last time like that. Deep inhale through your nose. Sigh it out. And then just this time breathing in and out your nose. We breathe through our nose in yoga because it provides a natural filtration system for our breath, as well as helps concentrate our breath and heat our bodies. Take a nice deep inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2. In 5, 4, 3, 2. Out 5, 4, 3, 2. Again, in 2, 3, 4, 5. Out 5, 4, 3, 2. In 5, 4, 3, 2. Out 5, 4, 3, 2. And breathe naturally. Just noticing if this feels any different than it did before. Then adding some movement. Let's bring our feet to hips distance apart, parallel to each other. So your heel's right behind your second toe. Heels are right underneath of our knees. We're gonna hold on to the edges of your mat with your hands. Exhale here. Inhale, press through your feet. Lift your hips up. So you're pressing through all 4 corners of your feet, lifting on your inner and outer arches. Feet are parallel to each other. Knees are coming right out from your hips, so they're not falling in or out. And you're pressing down through the backs of your arms, making space across your collarbone, lengthening your tailbone towards the back of your knees, and lifting your low ribs up and away from your sacrum. One more breath here. And exhale, lowering your hips back down towards the floor. We're going to do that again. Inhale here. Exhale. And then inhale, press through your feet, lifting your hips up. Again, pressing down through the backs of your arms, lengthening your tailbone towards the backs of your knees. Okay, press down a little more into your left foot. And then see if you can lengthen your right leg any amount, your foot moving down the mat. And then slowly bringing it back up and lowering your feet down to the floor. So we're starting to work our hamstrings here, pressing down through your feet again. Inhale, lift up your hips. I know that really made me feel my left hamstrings. So press down through the right foot, maybe a little more into your heel. And then slowly slide your left foot down the mat, moving it back, keeping your inner thighs moving down towards the floor. Tailbone lengthening towards the backs of your knees, and lower your hips down towards the floor. Go ahead and windshield wiper your legs from side to side. Releasing your low back. neutralizing it before we try and bend it the other way. All right, go ahead, hug your knees into your chest. Gently rock from side to side. Let's plant your left foot down to the floor. And then, I'm sorry because I forgot to say this before we started practicing today, so you can pause this for a second. But we're going to use, I have a yoga strap, but if you don't have a yoga strap and you have a towel or your robe belt, a regular belt, anything like that would work. So, sorry, pause and go grab that really fast. But we're gonna plant our left foot down to the floor and then put your strap or whatever you have available to you around the ball of your right foot, and then extend your right heel towards the ceiling, just gently stretching through the back of our hamstrings. So we just warmed them up with the bridge poses. Now we're just going to stretch it out. Just still gentle, still at the very beginning of our practice. And then if you need a little more, and if it feels accessible to you, go ahead and slide your left leg down the mat. See if you can engage that bottom leg. So point your toes and knees up towards the ceiling, and then drop that inner left thigh towards the floor, engaging that quad. One more breath. Go ahead and release your right foot, and then really slowly for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, lower that foot back down towards the floor to meet our left. All right, go ahead, hug your knees into your chest again, rocking from side to side. And plant your right foot down to the floor this time. So right out from your hip, and then loop your strap around the ball of your left foot and extend your left leg towards the ceiling. Again, just gently beginning to open up the back of our hamstrings in that left leg. Breathing here. And then if you need a little more and it feels accessible to you, just slide that right leg down your mat. Toes and knees pointed up towards the sky, just meaning that it's not turning out to the side or falling into the center, but like you were going to stand on it. So then pressing your right quadricep down towards the floor, inner thigh spinning in slightly as you lengthen your tailbone down. One more breath. Unloop your left foot. We're going to lower it down to meet our right leg for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right, hug your knees into your chest, rock from side to side. All right, go ahead and extend both legs towards the ceiling. Again, like you were going to stand on the ceiling, so your feet are flexed and they're right above your hips. So let's make them hip distance apart. Extend your hands by your side, palms can just face in. Inhale here, exhale, lift your chest and shoulders off the floor. So head, neck, everything lifts up. Breathe here. On your exhale, lower your left leg down. Inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, right leg. Inhale, lift. Exhale, left. Inhale, lift. Exhale, right. Inhale, lift. Exhale, left. Inhale, lift. Exhale, right. Inhale, lift. 2 more. Exhale, left. Inhale, lift. Exhale, right. Inhale, lift. Exhale, left. Inhale, lift. Last one. Exhale, right. Inhale, lift. And go ahead, hug your knees into your chest, gently rock from side to side. And then begin rocking forward and back. massaging your back for 4, 3, 2, cross your ankles, come up and over, or swing your legs around. And let's meet in downward facing dog. So just stepping your feet back, making an upside down V shape here. So hands are shoulder distance apart, maybe slightly wider. Wrist creases are parallel or slightly turned out to the front edge of our mat. Feet are hips distance apart, heels lifted right up above our second toes. Bending a little bit in your knees, reaching your inner thigh back, lengthening your tailbone up. As you press down into your hands, think of lifting through your forearms and your outer upper arms, your triceps, wrapping in, making space evenly across your collarbones and your back. Breathing here. One more breath. And exhale, gently place your knees down to the floor. And then adjust so that your wrists are right underneath of your shoulders. You can uncurl your toes. Go ahead and inhale into cow pose. So belly button drops towards the floor, tailbone lifts, collarbone lifts. And exhale, chin to chest, belly button to spine. Tailbone lengthens towards the back of your knees, pressing into your hands. Inhale back into cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale back to a neutral spine and walk your hands out maybe just another 2 inches. This time, exhale back into child's pose. Inhale up through neutral spine. Exhale forward, chaturanga on your knees. So elbows over wrists, lowering down, outer upper arms wrapping in towards your ribs. Inhale back up through neutral spine. Exhale, child's pose. Let's do that 4 more times. Inhale. Exhale, chaturanga on your knees. Inhale, press it up. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, press. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale. Exhale, child's pose. Let's pause here for about 3 breaths. On your next inhale, coming back through neutral spine, exhale, chaturanga on your knees, lowering all the way down to the mat. So again, just making sure that your wrist creases are right underneath of your elbows and that your hands are shoulder distance apart. Press down through the tops of your feet, lift up on your quadriceps so they're pressing up into your thigh bones. Tailbone lengthens down towards the backs of your knees. Exhale here. Inhale, baby cobra. Just chest, shoulders, head lift. Back of your neck's long, so you're still looking down at the floor, not craning it up in front of you. Exhale, lower down. 2 more times. Inhale, chest, shoulders lift. Exhale, lower. Last one, inhale. Finding length through your spine. Exhale, lower down. Let's tuck our toes under. So our legs are hips distance apart. Really press down through the balls of your feet. We're going to lift our quads again up into our thigh bones. Exhale here. Inhale, press into your hands. Upward facing dog on the balls of your feet. So shoulders right over top of your wrist, outer upper arms wrapping in, sternum moving forward between your arms. Lengthening your tailbone down and back as you lift up from your inner thighs. 1 more breath. Lifting from your inner thighs, up and back, downward facing dog, and pause. Place your left knee down to the floor. Step your right foot to the inside of your right thumb. And then make sure your ankle's right underneath of your knee. Come up onto your fingertips. You can uncurl your back toes and just gently allow your hips to move forward. as your outer hips hug in. So opening up through your hip flexors on that left leg. The heel is right behind your second toe, broadening through your collarbone. One more breath here. On your next inhale, sweeping your arms out and up, low lunge. See if you can get all 5 of your back toes onto the floor. Can your pinky toe touch the floor? And exhale, hands down. Curling your left toes under, stepping back, downward facing dog. Breath here. Set your right knee down to the floor. Step your left foot up to the inside of your left thumb. Setting up here, heel right underneath of our knee and right behind our second toe. Pressing down through the top of our right foot. Hips gently moving forward as you lengthen your tailbone down. Feeling maybe a gentle stretch the front of that right hip flexor. Tenting up on your fingertips to make space across your collarbone. Outer hips hugging in, so we're not letting it fall out to the side, but we're staying right over the midline. That right thigh is engaged too. On your next inhale, sweeping your arms out and up. And exhale, hands down on either side of that left foot, stepping it back, downward facing dog. One more breath here. At the bottom of your exhale, walking your hands back so you're in a forward fold at the back of your mat. Pausing here. Weight goes a little more into the balls of your feet so that your outer hip stays over your ankles. Exhale here. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Opening up across your collarbone. Hands can come up to your shins, or maybe they can stay on the floor. Exhale, soften. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Making space in your spine, length, reaching the crown of your head forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms forward and up, Urdhva Hastasana. Upward facing hand pose, pressing down through our feet, hands reaching up, shoulder distance apart, outer upper arms wrapping in. Exhale, hands to your side, Tadasana mountain pose. Bring your arms forward in front of you to shoulder height. Interlace your fingers and then turn your palms inside out so that your palms are facing the wall away from you. Find strength in your legs here, so pressing down through all 4 corners of your feet, lifting up on your quads, maybe your kneecaps lift a little bit. Buttocks flush and tailbone lengthen down towards the floor. Inhale, arms up overhead. Squeezing your arms in so your arms are nice and straight. One more breath here. Turn your hands back, right side in, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, walking your hands out, plank pose. You can always be on your knees here. Inhale here, exhale, hinging forward slightly, Chaturanga. Inhale, Cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Left knee comes down toward the floor, right foot steps up, but into the inside of your right hand. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, hands down, step it back, downward facing dog. Other side, right knee comes down, left foot steps the inside of our left hand. Uncurl your back toes. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, hands down, stepping it back, downward facing dog. Pausing here, about 3 breaths. The bottom of your exhale, looking towards your hands, walk, step, or float your feet up. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms forward and up, Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, Tadasana, mountain pose. Right away, inhale, arms forward and up, Ardha Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Chaturanga. So step or float your feet back, lowering down, outer upper arms wrapping in. Cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog and pause. Pressing down through your hands, lifting through your forearms. Inhale your right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Right to hip height, toes and knees pointed down, hips hugging in. And exhale, knee to nose, sit it down to the inside of your right thumb. So we're going to heel toe that right foot over to the midline, spinning your back heel down. So you're lined up heel to arch, front knee right over top of your ankle, coming up to warrior one. So that front heel is right behind your second toe, shoulders over top of hips, arms can be out to a T. You can gaze out over your right fingertips. But lifting from this inner right thigh so that your knee is staying pointed over top of your second toe and isn't falling in. Lifting up through that back quad as you press down through the outer edge of that back foot. Breathing here. Exhale here. Inhale, reverse warrior. Left hand to left leg, reaching up and back with this right arm. Making space through your right side body, but that front knee is still bent over top of that front ankle. One more breath. On your inhale, lengthen through that right leg, pressing down through the big toe ball mound of that front foot. Inhale, coming back up. So now your legs are straight, arms are back to our T. Inhale here, exhale, tilting our pelvis towards the right as your right hand reaches towards the right side of the room, placing your right hand down to the inside of your right leg. Left hand is right above your shoulder. So pressing down through the ball of this right foot, lifting up on your quad, pressing your calf forward into your shin, lengthening that right buttocks down. You can look up at the top hand, the quadriceps of that back leg lifting up. One more breath. Exhale, looking down towards your right foot. Inhale, back up, warrior two. On your next inhale, straightening that right leg, put your hands to your hips and turn your feet to the side. So parallel to the short edges of your mat and parallel to each other. We're going to do a wide-legged forward fold. Lifting up on your quadriceps. So options here. We can interlace your hands behind your back. If that's too much, you can interlock your thumbs, or you can grab for your belt again and just hold it behind your back. So whatever feels best for you. But press down through all four corners of your feet, lifting up on your quads, tailbone lengthening down. We're going to tilt forward from our pelvis. So interlacing your hands, sit up nice and tall, and exhale, forward fold. Keeping your legs engaged as you fold forward. So still lifting up on your quads and pressing down through your feet. Weight comes a little more into the balls of your feet so your hips stay over top of your ankles. You can have a little bend in your knee here. Breathing. On your next exhale, releasing your hands down to the floor. Placing your hands to your hips, elbows pointing up towards the sky, pressing down through your feet. On an inhale, come up to stand. Other side. We're going to externally rotate our left leg and internally rotate our right so that our left heel is lined up with the arch of our right foot. Pressing down through all four corners of this right foot, knee over top of your ankle, pressing through the outer edge of your left foot, lifting up on that right quad. Arms come out to a T, shoulders right over top of our hips. You can look out over your left fingertips. Breathing here, pressing a little more into the ball mounds of that left foot as you lift up on your inner left thigh. Lifting that front, your left hip point up and away from that thigh bone. One more breath here. Reverse warrior on an inhale. Right hand comes to right leg, left hand reaches up overhead. Your left knee is still right over top of your left ankle. Making space through your left side body. Exhale here. Inhale, straighten. That left leg, upper body stays the same. On an inhale, upper body comes back up. Arms at a T. Inhale here, exhale, tilting your pelvis to the left as your left hand reaches over towards the left. And your left hand comes to the inside of your left leg, right hand right above your shoulder. Pressing down through the outer edge of that back foot, lifting up on your quad. Pressing through the ball of your left foot, lifting up on your left quad. Maybe pressing that left calf forward into your shin. You can look up at that top hand. Spine's long here. Your lower left ribs moving up and away from your left hip point. On an exhale, looking down toward your left hand. Inhale, warrior two. And exhale, hands come down to either side of that left foot. Step it back, downward facing dog. Pausing here. One more breath. Inhale your left leg up to three-legged dog. So right to hip height, toes and knees pointed down, hips hugging in, but still pressing down into your hands. Having equal space in both sides of our torso, our side body. And exhale, knee to nose, set it down to the inside of your left thumb. Heel toeing your left foot over to the midline. Spinning your left heel down, or right heel down, excuse me. Inhale, warrior two. Just for a moment. Exhale here, inhale, straighten that left leg, hands to your hips. Turning to the side, long edge of your mat. Go ahead, walk your heels in slightly so that your toes and knees are pointing towards both sides of the left side of your mat. Inhale, arms up like a big star. And exhale, goddess pose. Nice and strong here. Maybe rocking from side to side, playing around with where the weight is in your feet. And then finding stillness in the center. Pressing down through all four corners of each beat. Tailbone, buttocks flesh lengthens down towards the floor as your inner thighs lift up. Arms nice and strong. Inhale, extend into your star. Exhale, goddess. Two more times. Inhale, extend. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, extend. Exhale, goddess. One more breath. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hands just come back to your feet. We're going to, first let's bring our feet back to parallel. Maybe a little wider again. Externally rotate our right leg, planting your heel down to the floor so that your foot's parallel to the long edge of your mat, knee over top of that ankle. And then internally rotate your back leg. So we're lined up heel to arch, back in our warrior two pose. Eyes can gaze out over the right hand. One more breath here. And exhale, hands come down to either side of that right foot, stepping it back to downward facing dog. On your next inhale, lift your right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose, sit it down to the inside of that right foot. So your feet are on railroad tracks here. That right ankle right underneath of our right knee. And inhale, arms forward and up, high lunge. A little bend in that back knee, lengthening your tailbone and buttocks flesh down towards the floor. Arms nice and straight. Exhale here, inhale both legs. Straighten both legs, exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Pause here for a breath. Exhale, both hands down to either side of that right foot, stepping it back, downward facing dog. Other side, left foot up and back, three-legged dog. On your exhale, stepping your left foot to the inside of your left thumb. Again, feet are on railroad tracks here. Finding your stability before you come up, outer hips hugging in. Inhale, arms forward and up, little bend in that back knee. High lunge, Anjaneyasana. Breathing here. On your inhale, straightening both legs. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend, lifting up on your quads. Nice and strong. On your exhale, hands come down to either side of that left foot. Step it back, downward facing dog. Taking a breath here. The bottom of your exhale, look towards your hands. Walk, step, or float your feet up. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms forward and up, Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, hips sink back, Utkatasana, chair pose. So weight comes a little more into your heels. Feet are still parallel to each other. Lengthening your spine, lifting your front hip points up towards your low ribs, making space between your hip points and your thigh bones. Maybe sitting back a little bit more. Inhale here, exhale, bring your arms behind you, like reaching back. Like you were gonna dive or something. Sinking your hips a little further. Find space through your collarbones. Exhale here. Inhale, arms forward and up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Let's step our right foot to the back of the mat. Doesn't have to go very far, but like a low lunge here. So feet are on railroad tracks. Finding stability here. Touching up on your fingertips. Hugging your outer hips in so you're right over the midline, not letting them stick out to the side. Lifting up on that back leg. So that back leg's nice and straight here. Pressing that quadricep up into that thigh bone. Exhale here and inhale. Press through the ball of your left foot and begin to straighten this left leg. Any amount that you can. As you press down through the big toe of that left foot, gently think of lengthening your left hip crease back. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Hold here for about 3 breaths. That front leg does not have to be straight. Just stop when you feel the sensation through the back of that leg. On your next exhale, bending that left leg, stepping your right foot up, forward fold. Just pausing here for a moment, little bend in your knees as much as you need to. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. This time step your left foot towards the back of your mat. Maybe not super wide right here, so a little narrower than it would be if you were coming up into your high lunge. But find strength in that back leg. So press down through the ball of that back foot, reach that ankle back or your heel back, and press your left quad up. as you lengthen your tailbone down. Make space through your collarbone, tent up onto your fingers. Press down through the right ball of your foot as you lift up on that right quadricep and begin to straighten that front leg any amount. No need to force anything. And exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. And hold here for about 3 breaths. Pressing down through the ball of that right foot as your right hip crease gently pulls back. On your exhale, bending that left knee. Let's step it back, downward facing dog. Breathing here. Inhale your right leg up and back, 3-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose, sit it down to the inside of your right thumb. We're going to spin our left heel down, just like in Warrior Two. So pressing down to the outer edge of that left foot as you lift up on your left quad. Inhale, arms forward and up. So lengthening your tailbone, your buttocks flush down, so we're protecting our low back here. Inhale, arms forward and up. That outer right hip hugging in. Pressing down through the ball mound of that right foot as you lift up on that inner right thigh. Exhale, hands sweep down by your side and interlace behind your back. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. And exhale, hinging forward, humble warrior. Breathing here, hips still hugging in, pressing down through your feet, still lifting up on that left quad. Inhale, begin to come back up, warrior one. Exhale, hands down to either side. That right foot will meet in downward facing dog, but option to flow through your vinyasa. Pause here, 3 breaths. Inhale your left leg up and back, 3-legged dog, right to hip height. Exhale, knee to nose, sit it down to the inside of your left thumb. We're going to spin our right heel down, maybe narrowing our stance a little bit, pressing down to the outer edge of our right foot, lifting up on your right quadricep. Inhale, arms forward and up, warrior one. Pressing down through the big toe mound of that left foot as your inner left thigh lifts. Tailbone and buttocks flush, lengthen down towards the floor. Exhale, hands come down by your side and extend behind your back. Interlace your fingers and see if you can interlace them opposite of the way you did before. So probably the way that feels more awkward. Lengthening your tailbone down, lifting it up on that back thigh. Exhale, hinge forward. Arms come up and over, humble warrior. Outer hips hugging in. One more breath. Inhale. Slowly, nice and controlled, coming back up, releasing your hands. Forward and up, warrior one. Exhale, we'll meet in downward facing dog, but option to flow through your vinyasa. Remember, chaturanga, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, hips up and back, downward dog. Pausing here for about 3 breaths. bottom of your exhale, looking towards your hands. Walk step, maybe float your feet up. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms forward and up. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Tadasana, mountain pose. All right, so go ahead and grab your strap or whatever it is you're using today. Again, that could be a towel, the tied to your bathrobe, a belt, whatever you have. But go ahead and start with it just in your right hand. Hands on your hips. And root down through your feet. So feet are parallel to each other, pressing into all four corners, lifting up on your kneecaps, your quadriceps, tailbone lengthened down, finding space across your collarbone. Take a deep breath here. Root down through your your left foot, and lift your right leg up, knee right to hip height. And see if you notice if your hips moved there. Did your right hip lift up or drop down? Did your left hip pop out to the side? So keeping your outer hips hugging in so that you can keep those hip points on the same plane. We're going to take your belt and loop it around the ball of your right foot. Always an option to stay with your knee bent, but grounding through that left foot, lifting up on your quad, we're going to extend that right foot forward. Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. Still standing up nice and straight, lifting up through our left leg, left glute medius, hugging in. One more breath. And exhale, begin to bend that right foot, unloop it. And exhale, release your right foot down to the floor. All right, other side. Feet hips distance apart, parallel to each other. Pressing down through all four corners of each foot, lifting up on your knees, your quadriceps, tailbone lengthening down, broadening across your collarbone. Let's take our strap in our left hand. On an inhale, root down through that right foot, lift your left knee up to hip height. You can always just hug your knee here and pause here. Or we're going to loop our strap around the ball of our left foot and extend it forward. Probably understanding why we opened up our hamstrings so much. Breathing here. Finding length through your spine, outer right hip hugging in, pressing down evenly through all four corners of that right foot. Are your hips still on the same plane? Did your left hip drop? Exhale, gently bending that knee in. Exhale, place it down to the floor. Shake it out. All right, go ahead and take your strap and put it up towards the top of the mat. We're going to use it one more time. Come to the top of your mat, feet hips distance apart. Take a deep breath here. On an inhale, arms reach forward and up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hips sink back, Utkatasana. Inhale here, exhale, hands come down by our side, reaching back behind us, and hinge forward slightly here. Breathing here, spine's long, hip points lifting up and away from our thigh bones. Inhale, arms forward and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, step or float back, Chaturanga. Inhale, Cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Breathe in here. Inhale, hinge forward to plank. Pressing down through your right hand. Rotate to that outer edge of your right foot, inner edge of your left foot. Left hand towards the sky, keeping your hips lifted. And that left hip is right on top of our right. We are not letting it fall backwards. Pressing down through our right hand, lifting it up through our armpit. You can keep your feet in front of the other. And exhale without slamming that left hand down. Back to plank. A breath here. Rooting down through our left hand. Rotating to that outer edge of our left foot, inner edge of our right. Right hand up to the sky, hips lifted. Right hip over top of left. Again, not sinking backwards. Rooting down through our whole left hand. Exhale. Coming back to plank, nice and controlled. Inhale here, hinge forward slightly. Exhale, chaturanga, lower all the way down to the floor. All right. Extend your hands back behind you. Palms facing towards the midline, so towards your hips. You can just bring your chin or your forehead down to the floor. Legs extended right back from your hips. Tailbone lengthening back towards your heels. Exhale here. Inhale, chest, shoulders, arms lift. Keeping the tops of your feet down to the floor. Breathing here, tailbone lengthening back. One more breath. Exhale, lower down. Second option, legs lift. So exhale here, inhale, chest, shoulders, arms, legs lift up off the floor. But maintaining space through your spine, like your toes are reaching back, crown of your head's reaching forward, tailbones lengthening towards the backs of your knees, inner thighs lifting up so that your kneecaps are still facing down towards the floor. Exhale, lower down. All right, you can stay with either of those first options, the first one or the second, or your next option is Dhanurasana. So if you can bend your knees in and reach the outer edges of your ankles, go for it. You can flex your feet here. If you can't, take your strap and you're gonna loop it. Ooh, sorry, Kat. You're gonna loop it around your ankles and hold on to the strap, flexing your feet. All right? So pick the option that feels best, but our knees are hips distance apart, our feet are still hips distance apart, but they're bent in towards your bum. Lengthening your tailbone down so that we're not overarching in our low back. Flexing your feet. Exhale here. Inhale. Chest, shoulders, arms. Lift. Think of lifting your thighs up away from the floor. Front hip points lifting towards your low ribs. One more breath here. And exhale. Lower back down. Release your strap. Make a little pillow out of your hands, resting your head there. And windshield wiper your legs from side to side. Releasing your legs back. One more breath here. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Press up through all fours. Knees about mats, width apart. Sink your hips back to your heels. Come into child's pose. Arms can be extended overhead or you can release them down by your side, whatever is more comfortable. We're going to stay here for 5 breaths. Inhale, gently walk your hands in, come into a seated position. Bring your legs out to one side, extend them in front of you. Just sit up nice and tall. So bending your knees any amount, to help you take the curve out of your low back. So if you're finding when your legs are really straight that your low back is rounding under, put a little bend in your knees so that you can think of lengthening your tailbone back. Feet flexed, sitting up nice and tall. And actually, let's use our strap here as well. So looping your strap around the balls of your feet. Sitting up. And then just slowly hinging forward from your hips. So we want our pelvis to be tilting forward, not curving through our back. So sitting up nice and tall. You might only go forward a few inches. Again, keeping whatever bend you need in your knees so that your low back is nice and long. One more breath. Inhale, come back up to a seated position. You can put your strap down to the side. Coming into Baddha Konasana, bring the balls of your feet together as close or as far apart to your inner thighs as you need them to be. Knees just gently open out to the side, sitting up nice and tall. Just pausing here. We're not going to hinge forward in this posture, so just breathe. Your next inhale, using your hands, bringing your knees back up through center. Extend your left leg down your mat. Your right foot can stay to the inside of your right leg or your left leg, or you can bring it up and over. Sitting up nice and tall. Exhale, twisting towards the right. Right hand goes right behind your right hip. Both sits bones are still in contact with the floor, so not letting it lift up. Spine is still long. Exhale here. Inhale, unwind. Extend your right leg down the mat. Bend your left knee so your left foot's to the inside of your right leg, or can come up and over. Sitting up nice and tall, both sits bones firmly in contact with the floor. Inhale here. Exhale, twisting to the left. Left hand can come behind your left hip. Exhale, unwind. Extending both legs. Making sure you have enough room behind you. We're making our way down into Shavasana, final relaxation pose. So you can just lay on your back if that feels comfortable for you. If that causes any pressure in your low back, you can bend your knees, bring them into touch. Arms wherever they're comfortable. Just taking your time to find a spot where you can get out any last minute fidgets. Allow your body to feel heavy on your mat. You can close your eyes if that feels right for you. Allow your breath to be natural. And as thoughts pop into your head, see if you can let them just float on past, like clouds moving past in the sky. you're ready, you can bring your awareness back to your breath, wiggling your fingers and your toes. And inhale, stretch your arms up overhead, like a big good morning stretch. And then hug your knees into your chest. And then just take your time and come up to a comfortable seated position. We'll take a few more breaths together before we complete our practice. Sitting up nice and tall. Take a nice deep inhale, reaching your arms up overhead. And exhale, your hands down through heart center. And again, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, sweeping your arms up. Last time. Exhale, hands to heart center, pausing here. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Namaste. Again, my name is Joella. Thanks so much for practicing with me today. I hope you can make another class soon.